Good morning, folks. I'm Joe Wesley. Welcome to the podcast of Joe and Lizzy. Now, admittedly, Lizzy's not here at the moment because I blew it this morning. I forgot to share the link with her, and she should be coming on very shortly. But while we're doing that, I'd like to do a commercial break, even though we're just starting. And the concept is that you'll see us through LinkedIn, through YouTube, and through Facebook. We do ask. I was
Good morning.
Good morning. I was just apologizing for not sending the link. I do apologize for
No
that.
worries.
We've been at this for a year's time, right? A little bit more than that. Our anniversary was last year. Now I was going to say last month, and we still do things that make us acknowledges that we're human. We make mistakes. It doesn't always go the way we want it to go, but we keep working at it and we get better because of it. So welcome on board. And I kind of feel that we've cheated you because Lizzy was going to play some music. I'm going to ask, let's take a break and let's hear some of that music because I'd like to hear it because you do good stuff.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee kid. You should know I bleed blue.
We're in New York. Or New Jersey, New York.
These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear
All right.
Sounds very, very good. I have to admit, folks, I appreciate music. I love to listen to it. I just don't have the flow of the beat. And my uncles, my mother's cousins wanted to swear at her, he can't be part of this family. This guy has no beat, no draw to music. That's just who I am. And actually that goes with our topic of expectations. What we're doing differently
I don't claim to
is
have a beat either, but I don't claim to have a beat, but I do love music.
fair enough. There we go. Thank you very much for that.
Anyway, regardless.
But January, we both like to use the calendar significant time periods. And January is the month of resolutions. And if I understand correctly, Lizzy is really not heavy into the value resolutions or maybe the purpose of it. But we're talking about the theme. We're doing micro based themes now that go more than just one or two shots. And the current one is overthinking, underthinking, expectations, resolutions. They all kind of fall in that same bowl of activity. And the topic for today, to have to write this because it's not intuitive for me, is there a difference between wants and needs? And my thing is that I'm very clear on this one. I'm going to be intrigued to see how Lizzy responds. That when I love chocolate cake, like who doesn't of any sane mindset? And mindfulness. There we go. If you're a mindful persona, you gotta love chocolate cake. That's my thinking. And the challenge is when I eat chocolate cake, it gets stuck in my mouth. The particles, my tongue gets stuck to the roof. I can't talk decently, so I need a tall, cold glass of milk. There is no question about what I want the cake and what I need the milk. I mean, it's like yin and yang working together. So I'd be intrigued to see how Lizzy responds to this one.
No, I can clearly and very wholeheartedly say that milk is a want. It is not a need.
No, not talking about the milk side of it. If I don't drink the milk, I can't talk. I can't breathe good. I mean, that's very clear to me.
Okay, let's say the milk that you poured is sour and bad. Are you still going to need it?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because I got to wash that cake down. So she's going to make impossible conditions. But let's see where she goes with this, folks.
Yeah, no, I think there's a big difference between wants and needs. I mean, needs are the way I see needs are survival things that we need for survival, like that like shelter and food and water and belonging and wants or desires are an expectation. Well, wants and desires are the ways that we would like things to be. We might want our partner to behave a certain way or to open the door for us. That's a want. And so and it may be an expectation because it may be something that you were conditioned to believe is the way that it should be, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not always that way in a relationship. So you have to, so what I always say, you have to let the other person know what your expectations are, like, so let's say for a relationship, and you know what your wants are, and then you need to come together and see if this is a good fit for each of you. And what I see a lot of people doing is, you know, foregoing what their wants are, you know, and just taking what they can get. And so, you know, I always say, like, what people do often is, you know, they decide to want what they can get rather than get what they really want in relationships, in life, in a lot of different areas. And so to distinguish that and really ponder it, I think that's where mindfulness comes in, is to really ponder what it is that you know, what is it you'd like to create in your life or have in.
Well, okay,
Mhm.
I get the flow of the want side, but geez, let me rephrase this. One of the common discords that Lizzy and I have throughout this is our 58th session, is this light switch thing. And it sounds so methodically easy. Well, you just have to decide what you want, or and make it happen or not. And that's even the issue, whether it's needy or not, as a concept. There you go, needy. Need and needy, are they the same word? That is it want and wanty, if that's such a word? So, see, I'm all over the place on this one in terms of confusion.
Yeah.
That now, let's talk about need. And I love my wife. I don't know why she puts up with me. Still, we've been married at least 30 plus years, and still talking to each other, by the way. And that being said, I said earlier with Lizzy about we cannot leave the house until I verify that the eyebrows are even and equal. That to me, it's not a want. It's a nothing happens beyond that moment. I could hold my breath. I could have a tantrum. We could be running late. It could be whatever it could be. But until that need is met, about whether we should pluck out or not another hair, nothing exists beyond that moment. So that sounds like a need to me as opposed to a want. So how do we make that issue?
I think it's come to be something that you do for your wife, just to make her feel,
No,
you
no,
know.
no. I do it for my life, not for my wife. So whole different. I need to do it for me.
Right. So it's become a need for you in order to be
Yes.
able to stay not in the doghouse. Um, so yeah, there's it's a little tricky to think about being needy versus needs. And so again, you got to take your ownership over, you know, what it is that you can take on yourself and what it is that you can ask of another person. And then you know, you have to, again, talk to that person and see if they're up for that challenge. If they decide that they're gonna be that person for you to check you out before you leave the house. And I think you've assumed that that's part of your responsibilities
No,
of
no,
being.
no. I didn't assume. This was hardcore 30 decades of living with one another. So it's a very methodical erosion of my sense of whatever the world might be. So you're very kind to say that. I guess what I'm saying in a different format, I don't think it's that easy to make a distinction. And it's one thing to say in a classroom setting, well, you simply have to make the decision and become mindful and make it happen. But for those lost souls like myself, well, it doesn't quite work that manner. Are there some little key ingredients that one can make that distinction?
I just think that a lot of times it's unconscious. So I mean, I think that we have these unconscious expectations, you know, for something, and from someone else, and we never voiced it, you know. So and then we end up disappointed and angry, or, you know, um, potentially creating like some disconnect in the relationship. So again, it's like it's bringing that to your conscious awareness of, to, you know, what it is that you're wanting, and then voice it. You need to communicate it, because no one can read your mind. The other person can't read your mind. So I think the first step would be, you know, really just speak it. speak it, and then the person can say, you're crazy to want me to do that, or they can say, all right, no big deal, I'll take a look at you before we go out the door.
I hear that, and in fact, you made a comment that I would even challenge, like I don't always. Still, that if the other person says that's crazy, in itself doesn't make it crazy. I might challenge that concept, and it kind of goes back to maybe to me a core question: is are we being unfair to ourselves or the world around us if we can't make a distinction between wants and needs? First off. And is that want or need validated or invalidated because somebody else disagrees? Geez, that might be for next month. I think you were talking about that, and you'll announce that at the end of this program.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get it all in these 15 minutes. We don't have enough time. But what I'm like to say, we began this, Lizzy and I, because of my left brain not quite connecting with this yin and yang mindfulness philosophy of style. And so I'm expressing my confusion, hopefully to get better clarity. And I'm finding that the more I ask, the more confused I get. That's because more points are raised. But that's good, because that means we talk about it, we delve into it. And by the way, I'm going to slide into a commercial break again. I didn't quite finish that at the beginning. That we are on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Watching us, we do ask that you have to sign in to leave comment. We'd like you to not only like us, but also to share us with each other, your friends, outside people. Please provide comments. Don't leave me hanging out here all by myself in confusion. There's got to be other people who share my thoughts or have better insight from Lizzy's perspective. So we do ask that. But again, if you suggest, we talk about doing micro themes, perhaps running for the month. And if it's something you'd like us to talk about for next month or the month after, please also share that with us. So if you don't see us during the live moments, you can observe us on I call it the replay moments, and we do audit the comments, so we do encourage that from you. So what I was asking about the issue of want and need, we could probably spend a whole time on each one of those, but one of the key things that I really feel strongly about, that the value of that need or want, once we make that distinction in my world, is less validated on the listener or the recipient and more internal for me. I might be unrealistic, but I think that's where Lizzy comes in. Yeah, Lizzy comes in with the mindfulness thing. So how do we, and her premise, and I understand it intellectually, is don't be victimized because you're always reacting to external stimulus, that you respond. Somebody told me that word the other day. I love it. So rather than react, you respond, which implies more deliberate action. Is that kind of a concept?
Yeah, absolutely. And to really be mindful of what those shoulds that you use. It should be this way. They should be this way. This food should taste this way. The shoulds will always get you in trouble, I think. Mm-hmm. So being open to, I'll give you an example, which just reminded me of it. I made soup once for somebody it's called gazpacho, which is a cold soup. And I was telling this person, it's such a good soup. It has all these vegetables. And I served it and they took a bite and it was cold. And it was like, totally freaked this person out. And because he expected it to be hot.
Soup, yeah, that's funny.
And so I'm like, I never said it was hot soup. I just told you the ingredients. And so I think it's just, again, be careful how we should, a lot of things we should, this should be this way or that way, and to just be careful of all the shoulds. And what if a cold soup could be really delicious? What if I could have my chocolate cake with water instead of milk? What if I think it leaves a lot more opportunity for being open to uncertainty and what could happen. But then also have your what you really need. I mean, I know I need people in my life that are honest. I need I expect people to be open, but they're not always open. When I talk to clients, I have them write down what it is they really want, say in their job or in their partner, and then really go down and circle what is it that you need, what is a non-negotiable, and what is just like, it would be nice if I had these hours or this person, did this. So to just give yourself some clarity about what it is that are non-negotiable for you, and what are the things that you can be flexible about, and that's, I think, an opportunity to again take ownership of your life and realize that you have more, you're more powerful than you might think you are, which I believe we all are.
Okay, I hear that. I normally ask questions every time I hear her share her opinion, her expertise. We don't have enough time. It's only a minute. And so one of the things we're trying to do, but we are opening up topics. Maybe one topic will be careful of your shoulds. That could be another topic, perhaps. Maybe another topic could be, is an extreme want an easy need? I mean, if you make a list for what's really important, just a whole range of things. So we're talking about doing a new topic or theme per month. This could be a whole quarter of a year, perhaps, and how we work through this. But we'll discuss that because as a rule, we don't rehearse. I'm going to stop talking. Let's play some music. You want to take out with some?
Yeah,
pick us
no,
out with some words?
I think we're going to be turning into, like, for the next month, we're going to be focusing on boundaries. So thinking about, what are healthy boundaries for us, and what, where do we need strong boundaries, and where can we be more flexible, so I think that's a great lead in to that. And let's play us out. We had Alicia Keys, Jay-Z this morning. I hope you enjoy it.
No, it was nice. I mean,
Something that you were, wanting.
She even knows the performers' names. I am clueless. I'm sorry to say that, folks. But it's nice music.
Yeah.
And so anyway, from my perspective, Joe Wesley, thanks for visiting us. Please share and leave comments. We would appreciate that. Share, likes, spread the word.
Yes, please do. Join us. Join in the conversation. We would love to have you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So long, folks.